My name is Bob Thompson. I'm the mayor of Norman. We are honored to host this public meeting with the Department of Transportation, the Turnpike Authority, and the Association of Central Oklahoma Governments. The purpose of this meeting is to share with you a study that is underway by Cobb Engineering on different highway routes that will affect the central region of Oklahoma, and in particular Norman and some of the Now we'll have Richard Massie with the City of Norman on Norman's.
It's going to go far enough, Pat. Can we? Thank you. I'm ecstatic that all of you are here tonight. It is very difficult to get people involved at this point in a process. We're way out early, as they've indicated. We don't even have a plan that they've come up with yet, or even any alternatives to react to, but it's obvious, and I'm sure it's obvious to them tonight, that the people of Norman are very concerned about this process. They're very concerned about the outputs of this process and how it's going to affect the quality of life in Norman for many years to come. Now, the official plan of the City of Norman that has been adopted in February of last year is called Norman 2020, and it was represented on one of the slides as one of the documents that they're looking at. Norman 2020 was wholly consistent with the adopted OCART's plan. So in other words, as we went through our planning process for over 2 years before we developed the current land use and transportation plan for the City of Norman, we fully conformed to all of the policies, all of the plans proposed. I want to make about 4 points relative to the city staff's position relative to this particular study and our inputs to the consultants who are preparing this MIS study at this point in time, given the policies that have been adopted by your city council relative to both land use and transportation in Norman 2020. Number one, we believe that the outer loop should either follow the alignment that has already been adopted by detail in Norman 2020, or one similar to it, one that has been refined and detailed, but within that corridor of the community. We believe that that alignment and that location will be of greatest benefit to the largest number of citizens of Norman in terms of providing regional transportation opportunities. By the same token, we do not believe that a route that is substantially to the south of Norman will facilitate easy movement of Norman citizens to other portions of the metropolitan area. So we are not in favor of that. Number two, we are highly concerned with the status of Highway 9. We do not believe that Highway 9 is a suitable route for any portion of either the outer loop, much less the NAFTA corridor study, which is being considered. And as you heard earlier tonight, at least for portions of that, they're likely to become one and the same. So on portions of this, as they look at a bypass for the Oklahoma City area, portions of the outer loop may become, potentially, part of the NAFTA corridor. And there you're talking about an even totally different type of environment and type of traffic that would traverse that area. Highway 9, as it exists, particularly in the urban portions of Norman, from say I-35 east for the first 4 or 5 miles, is currently carrying about 85% of the design capacity of that road. We're carrying about 24,000 vehicles per day. It's designed to carry about 26,000 vehicles per day. It simply will not stand up to the type of traffic additions that would occur if it was part of the outer loop. By the same token, we believe that if the outer loop was designated there and ever reconstructed so that it was a fully controlled access facility with interchanges at all of the points that we have interchanges at the present time, that not only would it be cost prohibitive, but it would totally destroy the environment and the land use abutting Highway 9, which is, again, one of the most one of the greatest transportation corridors that currently exists in Norman. It would destroy Highway 9, in our opinion. Number three. Number three, in 1994, the Turnpike Authority commissioned a consultant to do some preliminary alignment studies, and they produced one, and I believe that Mark indicated that that was one of the corridors that they're evaluating. It was a route that starts on Highway 9. Pat's showing it now. It starts on Highway 9 at about 48th Avenue, goes north, and then jogs back to the east between the lakes, and then stays on the outer side of Norman. We do not think that that alignment for the outer loop in Norman is going to be productive, in the sense that, again, it's going to virtually totally compromise the policies that are included relative to land use of the Norman 2020 plan. It will not do anything toward preserving the environment that we have out there, nor the water quality, the watershed that we have for Lake Thunderbird. We do not want, from a policy standpoint, that kind of a facility traversing between the urban core and Lake Thunderbird. Clearly, you can get into an argument, a chicken and an egg deal, as to which one's first. Is it land use and then you get transportation, or is it transportation and then you get land use? Well, I can assure you, in 30 years of experience, it can work both ways. But there's probably nothing that you're going to see in the next 20-year time frame that will have a greater long-range impact on the pattern of development of Norman than this particular study, where this outer loop is located in Norman. It will have a great amount of significance in determining the quality of our environment and whether we are able to control growth and manage it in a responsible way, or whether we're going to have to totally scuttle the plan that we've developed and come up with totally new approaches, because land use will be drastically different if, in fact, that alignment serves as part of the outer corridor. And lastly, the last point I'd like to make is that we believe it's appropriate to suggest that as part of the NAFTA corridor study, that they need to consider taking off for a bypass somewhere between Purcell and Pauls Valley on an alignment that will eventually be totally east of Lake Thunderbird. It will be east of Lake Thunderbird. Those are the four. There's other ramifications associated with the study and the outputs, but those are the four key points from a policy standpoint that we see having great impact upon your adopted plan for your city. And we want all these ladies and gentlemen who are working on this study as consultants and on our behalf, because we are a member of ACOG. We do have inputs. They're here tonight in order to hear your comments and try to answer your questions about what's happening in that study. But we wanted to make certain that everyone from Norman understood, at least where the city staff felt we were at, how important this study is to us. And again, I can't tell you how much I personally appreciate your being here tonight and getting involved in this process. It's very meaningful to me, and I think it's probably very meaningful to these people to recognize that there's this many people in Norman that are this concerned about this particular issue at this time. So I don't want to we don't have a whole lot more time. I know most of you have many questions, and I'm sure that some of these people one or more of these people will have the answers. So I want to, without any further ado, immediately get into that. Since we are recording this and it is going out on cable tonight live, I would ask if you would please come to the microphone and give your name and address, and then ask your question or make your comment. If you want to make a comment, that's great. Try, if you can, to be as succinct as you can, so that everybody has a chance to say what they want to say or ask what they want to ask. And then I'll kind of be a moderator and allow whoever is most appropriate on the panel to try and respond to your question, do so. So at this time, we're open. If somebody would like, Mr. Rogers, would you like to go to you can either go